Okay, if you're talking geometric sequence, you're talking about you're multiplying the same thing. So what is your common ratio, or your R? What are you multiplying by to get to the next number?
4.
4. Okay, so if I multiply by 4, what are my next 3 terms? What's this first one?
256.
What, 256? Okay, 256, because that's what I get when I multiply 64 times 4. What's the next one?
1204.
1204. Okay, so that's this times 4. What's the last one here?
4096.
4096. Okay, so those are the next 3 terms. But then if you're asking for the 25th term, I would imagine you use that formula right there. So a sub 25 is equal to a sub 1, which is 4, times the ratio. The common ratio is 4, because that's what you're multiplying to get to the next one. Then you're going in is 25, so this is raised to the 25 minus 1 power, which is 24. So you have 4 times 4 raised to the 24th power, which is equal to what?
1.126.
1.126.
E to the 15.
Okay, do you know what the E means? The E means times 10 to the what power?
15.
15. Okay, so don't, on your paper, don't write E. Change the E to times 10. That's just how the calculator can't do the times 10. So that just means raised to. It's telling you what the exponent is going to be. That's what that E stands for. The exponent on your power of 10 is 15. So that's why you have E to the 15th. Okay, everybody in agreement with that?
Yeah,
All right.
I wrote it wrong in my calculator.
You're okay. All right, try one more, and then we'll move on to some more. Again, you're going to find the next 3 terms, and you're going to find the 25th term. So I have 81, 27, and 9. Find the next 3 terms in the 25th term. Be careful finding your ratio on this. All right, what's your common ratio?
1/3.
It's 1/3. Okay, that's probably the hardest part about this, except for here's what I would suggest you do. You can find the common ratio anywhere in the sequence. Right here, you can see that 27 divided by 3 is 9. Okay, find something that you are you might not be as comfortable with changing 81 into 27, but you do know 27 divided by 3 is 9, which means if I multiply it by 1/3, 27 over 1 times 1 over 3 gives me 27 over 3, which is 9. Okay? So that's one way that you can always find it. Okay, looking at this, what are the next 3 terms? 3
1,
and
133,
or
1/3.
1/3. Am I ever going to get to a negative number?
No.
Never. I am never going to get to a negative number. Okay, not on this one. And that's the case with a lot of the geometric sequences. You're not going to find that on the arithmetic because many times you're adding a negative number and you're going down into the negatives. But on a lot of the geometric ones, you're never going to get past 0. Okay? Now, what is your 25th term?
2.868.
2.868. Okay, is that what you guys got?
Times 10 to the negative 10th power.
Times 10 to the negative 10. Okay, so remember, that's 10 places to the left. That might as well be 0 almost. Okay, so I'm going to come through here and I'm going to go, okay, a sub 25 is equal to 81 times 1/3 raised to the 24th power, because it's always going to be 1 less than what you're trying to find. Do it out on the calculator, and then you can just leave it just like that. Okay, makes sense? All right. Now, of course, they're going to make you use this in various ways, just like they did with the arithmetic sequence. So let's say that I have a geometric sequence where a sub 1 is 3 and r equals 2, and they say find the first 6 terms. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? First thing I would do is make my blanks, because that way I'll know I did enough. Okay? If I make my blanks, what goes in the first blank?
3,
3. What goes in the second blank?
6, 12, 24,
Okay,
48,
good.
72.
How about 96?
Oh, nice.
Okay, because you're going to double it each time. Okay, obviously you use your calculator on that. Okay, does that make sense? All right. All right, I'm going to give you 2 to do up here, and I want you to find the first 6 terms. Okay? So the first one, you have a sub 1 is equal to 4, and the r is 3. First 6 terms on both. Second one, you have a sub 1 is equal to 125, and the r, be careful here, is equal to negative 2/5. Okay, and go ahead and leave them in fraction form, not decimal form on the second one.
First what terms? How many?
6, first 6 terms. that first one, what are the first 6 terms?
4, 12,
Hold that thought, okay? Okay. All right, go ahead, Reagan.
4, 12, 36, 108, 324, and 972.
Perfect. Okay, and you know, all you're doing is you're multiplying by 3 each time. Okay? It's almost like an iteration. If you remember iterations where you do a repeated pattern over and over again, but you take the answer from the problem before it and use it, that's almost like an iteration. All right, second one might have been a little bit harder. Okay, what do we have on the second one? What are the first 6 terms? Nobody wants to give me that one, right? Okay, let me read them to you, see how you did. 125, negative 50, positive 20, negative 8, positive 16 over 5, and negative 32 over 25.
I had decimals.
You had decimals, okay? I said I'd leave it as a
Last
fraction. Okay, leave it as a fraction. Let's look at that one. Okay, little bit harder. Definitely would have taken my calculator. So I would have done 125. Okay, now remember, probably do that so that you're sure you have enough. So I'm going to take 125, I'm going to multiply it by negative 2, don't forget the negative, divided by 5, which means every other one's going to be positive. Okay? So then I've got that, times negative 2 divided by 5, it's going to give me that, times negative 2 divided by 5, okay, it's going to give me this. Each time, I'm multiplying it by negative 2 divided by 5 in my calculator, and I'm putting that in parentheses. Once I get a decimal, what am I going to do?
Math.
I'm going to go to math, I'm going to hit fraction, I'm going to hit enter, and that's going to give me my 16 over 5. So the calculator's doing all the work for me, okay? Times negative 2 divided by 5, and again, I'm going to math, I'm hitting fraction, and I get negative 32 over 25. Okay? All right. Any problems on that? Okay, moving on then. So we're still only using that stuff over there and what we know about geometric sequences. See what you can do with this. The third term is a 63. My r is equal to negative 3, and I want to know the 9th term. See what you can do with that. Couple different ways you can do this. Okay. You should have 45,927. Is that what you have? No.
Oh, negative.
You have a
I
negative.
have -2.
You have a negative. Should be positive. Okay, couple different ways you can do this. Now, the ninth term isn't too far from the 63. So you actually could just go, well, this is a sub 3, sub 4, sub 5, sub 6, sub 7, sub 8, sub 9. And I actually could do this. And I could go, oh, this is sub 3. I'm going to multiply by my -3. So I have 63 times -3. That's going to give me -189 times -3 is going to give me 567 times -3 is going to give me -1,701 times -3, 5,103 times -3, -15,309 times -3. Is that what it had? Yeah. Okay. 45,927. That's one way. Okay. Now that's fine as long as they don't ask you for the 25th term or the 50th term or whatever. So you can do it that way. Okay. Here's another, and I doubt, did anybody do it that way? You did. Okay. Some of you did. Okay. All right. Here's another way. If I come over here and I look at this formula, a sub 3 is equal to a sub 1, which I have no idea what it is, okay, times my common ratio is -3, raised to the n is 3, so 3 minus 1 power, which is 2. Okay, so I can work backwards and I can find my a sub 1. Okay, this is one way to do it. So I've got this is squared, right? So -3 squared is 9. So I have 63 is equal to 9 times a sub 1. So a sub 1 is equal to 7. Then I can take this and I can plug it into that formula to find the ninth term. Do you see what I did? Because this is the third term. So I know the third term. So if I can use the third term, I can work backwards and find the first term. That's one way to do this. Okay, then I take that, I plug it into my formula. A sub 9 is equal to 7 times -3. But you've got to put the negative in parentheses. Yeah. I think that might be what messed up on some of you. The negative has to be in parentheses. And it's raised to the 8th power. Okay, if you didn't put that negative in parentheses, that 8 isn't applied to the negative, and it has to be. Okay? That's another way to do it. Then I just work that out and I'm going to get that same answer. Here's another way to do it. Okay, it depends.